If you look just underneath the U in Telluride, you're just gonna slip your fingers up, push.
Ugh. You could technically use the key fob. There's a button just to the left-hand side of the steering wheel as well. And you've got this. So much space back here, which is amazing. And so the cargo area by itself, not a ton, but as you start folding the seats down, that's where you get into even more space. But there's not too much back here. Like off to the right side, there's nothing really there. Off to the left side, there's a 12-volt power point. And then you can also release the second row. So you can fold the second row down this way. So it's kind of like a power release down, but you do have to manually lift it back up again. So this is just like a regular carpeted liner back here. Lifting this thing up, you've got a nice amount of storage space. The jack is off to the left-hand side. And then there's also a release for the spare tire, which is located just underneath the vehicle on the back end. So if you do want to change the tire yourself, you could, or you could just use Kia roadside assistance instead. This thing does have all the tether points for the third row. And then if you wanted to fold down the third row seats, there's just a little pull. You're just going to pull down and release. And down it goes. So very straightforward there. Now, folding down the second row seats, you've got a few different options. So right from the back, you've got the flexibility to do it. So you can just do a push and hold there if you wanted to. But you could also do it from the second row seat. Through the second row, there are two different buttons there. So there's one in order to move the seat forward if you need to get into the third row. And a second one that you can pull in order to release the seat itself. Then you can see there is a great amount of space inside of the Telluride. Now, the measurements that I use are under the assumption that we're going from where the liftgate would close. And then for the front end, it's essentially right behind the armrest. So if you've got the first row seats a little bit further forward, a little bit further back, you might gain an inch or two, just depending. But for the other measurements, it's right from the cutoff of the trunk area of the vehicle.